Cash Money Morgan, on site, on location.
Hey.
Please give a warm welcome to my guests. We got Eddie, Nelson, and Brenda here. Guys, can you tell us where the heck we are right now?
We're currently at Señor Julian, on site, on location.
Period. Apparently it's the best Mexican restaurant in all of Springfield, i.e. Missouri. Is that true?
It is true.
Period.
Yeah, we got voted the best Mexican restaurant for 2024. So, yeah, it is.
Oh, period. Love to see it. So a little backstory on how this is actually happening right now is I met Nelson at, shout out to Billy Dove, 417's birthday party.
What's up, Billy?
What up, Billy? You're the best. And we were kind of talking about it, and I was like, honestly, I love your guys' food. This would be so fun to record, as I'm now in my record on location era. And yeah, so first of all, big shout out to you guys for coming on. Happy to have you here.
Thank you.
But yeah, I think it's interesting, there's so many different Mexican restaurants in Springfield, and kind of like having a deeper understanding on, what you guys all are about, kind of like who you're marketing to, what's your vibe. So before we get started, if you kind of just want to go around and say, obviously your name, but like a fun fact about you and like what your role is here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go first. My name's Edson Villela. Fun fact is I'm a Green Bay Packer fan, not a Chiefs fan.
I'm from Green Bay. Oh my gosh.
Go Pack Go.
We knew we liked you, Eddie.
That's it. Favorite twin. I always tell people I'm the good-looking twin, so you know.
He did his homework. Okay.
And 31 years old. I'm obviously a twin. Nelson is my twin.
You're kidding. I'm just kidding.
We tell people we're cousins all the time, and they're like, "You guys got strong genes."
That's funny.
So yeah, that's a fun fact about me. My role is to be a bartender, manager, and then help in front of the house wherever the restaurant needs us. So
Absolutely.
For sure, where I am Nelson, Edson's twin, and no, I'm not a Green Bay or Chiefs fan. I like the Chicago Bears.
This is the time where
Like the respect.
My role in the restaurant, it's pretty much same as Edson, and I help a little bit in the kitchen, kind of like that transition to make sure everything comes out good from the kitchen to the front end. But overall, just to help both of them run the restaurant.
Yeah. Awesome. And then to our queen.
Thank you. My name is Brenda. My fun fact is that I was doing nursing before the restaurant business, so I completely quit nursing to dedicate my life to the restaurant business at this point. So as Edson mentioned already, we kind of like rotate roles.
Yeah.
So I do a little bit of bartending, I attend the front of the house, and I also do some administrative work for the restaurant.
Dang, that's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So cool. It's family business. So
Yeah.
you mentioned you were nursing. So when did you leave that field?
I left a couple of months before we started the restaurant, so around September, November 2022. I was
Very
doing
cool.
travel nursing at the time, and I ended up my last contract in Kansas City, and then we started the restaurant in December.
Wow.
So
And quick question for Brenda too, because I'm such a traveler queen. But traveling, whether it's full time or whatever for nursing, and then coming back to Springfield Mo and like being a business owner and like helping run it.
Yeah.
How has that transition been? Obviously it's very different industries. She's like, I don't know about it.
yeah, it was different. Yeah, because I was working 3 days a week. And making really good money, so I had a lot of free time. I was not just traveling for work, but I was traveling for leisure, so I was going to different countries, all over the states, and it was a fun time, so I had to give all that away to just solidify and work something for our family, kind of because my parents are getting old, they're getting ready to retire, and we wanted to build kind of like a legacy and something that they can be proud of.
Wow.
And yeah, so
Nice.
we kind of came together as a family to make that happen. Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
Because Nelson was working as a supervisor for Sam's Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
So, yeah.
So you guys were all in different roles, just
Yeah.
kind of living your life, and then 2020 hit.
Yes.
And obviously COVID, and so you guys kind of came together and like, let's do this.
Yeah, we felt like it was time. We had kind of like this dream, and always running a restaurant. It always pulled us as a family because we have been doing this for so long.
Yeah.
But there was a point in time to where like we decided to like get away from it because there's always you need a change. And,
Right.
Yeah, so we were like, okay, we need to stay away from that and see what we really want in life. But then as we thought of our parents and where life was going, we were like, okay, we need to make this happen.
Yeah.
Because we have all the tools, as a family
Absolutely.
to have a successful business. We have never owned one.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, let's go for it.
No, that's so cool. And honestly, it's amazing. I know my family, like we live in different states, and I definitely think if we started a business together, it would probably burn to the ground. But we're great at other things, But I think it's so beautiful that you kind of all had different careers, and you're like, you know what, this is important. We want to build this together and build a legacy. And so, before we started the podcast, we were talking about like the background really of the restaurant and you guys. So can you just kind of speak a little bit to, when you came to the States and that kind of thing? Because
when we came to the States, my dad got a job offer, and that's pretty much how we started. He started running the kitchen. He's been cooking since a young age. This is actually like generations of cooking and serving people and stuff like that. Fun fact, my dad is an attorney in Mexico.
wow, that's awesome.
So, economy and stuff like that, he ended up taking a better job for the family, always putting family first. And we came to the U.S. And then it just started from there. We started working at a young age. Brenda, started too, and we always felt, that one day we're gonna own our own. Just kind of like in the back burner as a family and a dream. But like she said, we all went our separate ways, different colleges, different states. But then eventually we all ended in Springfield, so we decided, we talk about it, and we also want to give back to our parents for working so hard and raising us, working so many hours and working hard, so we're like, let's do this for them, and also do it to give them thank and not be, so they don't have to work anymore. You see what I'm saying? Like they're here, and people will see mom and dad here, but that's because they want to be here, not because they have to.
Yeah.
And that was a number priority for all three of us to do. Like, they're getting older, so we have to make sure we take care of them like they did all their lives for us. So.
Yeah. No, that's such a beautiful thing, and it's interesting too, like to see how important family is in different cultures. Like the church that I attend, it's a lot of Slavic background, and people will like live with their families until they get married. And I just know in certain other areas, it's just not like that. Like it's like, I'm out of the house, when I'm rich and famous, I'll buy a little car, like that kind of thing. But it's such a beautiful thing that you guys are all like, no, we want to give back to our parents. This is really important. Like I just love that. I love it. And you guys, that's the heart behind Señor Julian, you guys.
Yeah, it is.
No, it was so good. So obviously you guys coming together, it's been especially during COVID, that must have been a crazy time to open. Can you talk about like the most challenging part of coming together and starting this business and running it together, and then also the most rewarding part?
Yeah, absolutely. We actually opened in 2022, but COVID was a big turn point. That's when you kind of said, everybody, I think the world sat down and analyzed, what's going to happen with your parents, what's going to happen with your life. Like, this is really changing the world. And that's when we knew our parents, like Nelson mentioned before, we were getting old, and we wanted to make, sorry about that.
Like, expose them like that.
But,
It's part of life.
Being very close as a Hispanic family, we wanted to leave their legacy because they truly do love what they do. My dad loves seeing the satisfaction in people's faces when they eat. So it was very difficult knowing that at that point, I think according to research, it was like 93% of restaurants failed within that period of time. A lot of the restaurants during COVID failed. So 2 years after that, where things are still, taking a turn, we put all the money we had together, all of efforts, all the ideas into what Señor Julian had, like Nelson said, knowledge, to solidify a project that will represent us as a family and represent mom and dad the way they should. My dad worked in the States, in the Boot Hill in Kenton, Missouri, over 20 plus years for a restaurant, to where now finally his legacy, his seasoning, his cooking is well known in the 417
Yeah.
and people appreciate it. So, it was very difficult not knowing. Nelson was starting a family and, married, and Brenda, also had a lot of work, like she was traveling. So putting your life on a pause, putting your resources into a big family event, and then playing Russian roulette with your life and seeing if it works. You don't know if the 417 is going to like your food or not, if they're going to like your drinks, if they're going to like the service, and also something that will stand out from what's already in the 417, because we brought a lot of unique things that the 417 didn't experience before. So it was very tough, but thanks to God, we're doing great. We love the love. We love seeing our regulars, newcomers. We get newcomers every single day. I didn't know you guys were here. I found you by mistake.
I was getting my nails done.
I took a wrong exit. I took a wrong exit, and I saw you, and it was packed. I decided to stop. So it's something that we all really enjoy, and we have a great time doing it together as a family. I get to see my parents every day.
That's awesome.
We close our eyes. We don't know if we're gonna wake up the next day, and we were able to hug them and tell them good night.
Damn, call my parents tonight. Oh my gosh. Mom and Dad. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So who is Señor Julian? Is that your dad?
That's our dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're
Dad.
like, oh, we just picked a name. I'm just
No.
So the whole idea behind the name, the logo, the colors, everything of Señor Julian, we studied as a family. We like Edson said, sat down and pretty much talk about what we want to represent. So. Even on our logo, you will see a little mountain. It's a landmark where we grew up in Mexico. Señor Julian is, of course, my dad. We name it after him. The colors, we always want to focus on the positivity of the Mexican culture. So that's why we have the paintings in the background that are so colorful. We want to feel people like they're welcome, and they're always welcome. Doesn't matter who you are. We always treat you the same and with respect, and try to make you feel like you're at home.
Absolutely. So where in Mexico are you guys originally from?
So we are from northeast Mexico, right under Texas. We have family really all over the state, but we grew up we call it the Tampico area on the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah.
That, and then Gonzales as well, where the landmark is, where Little Hill is.
So cool. And we were talking about earlier as well how there are so many different Mexican restaurants, but even I came here a while back, and I'm also going tomorrow. But the vibe here is so fun, and there's so many different places. But really, like whether it's on social media or you're coming here, the neon lights, the photo wall, like there's just so many fun elements. Whose idea? Like who are you marketing to, and what's that vibe you really want to bring when people come in here and have that experience?
Brenda?
I feel like we want to make everyone feel welcome. Everyone. It doesn't matter if you're 5 years old, a teenager, or 65.
Yeah.
So the photo booth back there is for everybody that loves social media, Instagram. They love the bright neon lights, all of that. We feel like this is more like having booth, and the new furniture and everything is more appealing to either younger or older generations. Because you have the colorful wall, and people love paintings, and they love that we're representing a local artist, and he's Hispanic as well. His name is Jorge Ortiz, and he's got a gallery downtown. So it's not like we're just bought this off of Amazon. We literally went to him and we gave him our ideas, and then he brought them to life.
Amazing.
So
So you guys mentioned that you lived in a different city in Missouri. How did you guys get to Springfield? And also, how did you know you were like Battlefield Street, baby? This is where the heart is.
Well, really, starting with me, I just followed them really everywhere they went, and family being close.
Chicago Bear, bandwagon.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm sorry, Nelson.
I don't know if you want to be a fan of the Chicago Bears. I'll tell you that. Yeah, you're in it to stick with them. But starting from me, they went to Arkansas. I really wanted to go southeast Missouri. It's a university in the Boot Hill of Missouri, and I wanted to go there. But then both of them start going to Central Arkansas University there. And then mom was like, you're there already. You should just follow your family. And sure enough, I did. And then I got there, and then 2 years later, they left.
Yes.
I was like, well, I guess. And then I met my wife there, So
Nice.
I stayed there for a little bit over a decade. And then she had a job opening from all over the country. And they were already in Springfield by then. And they will tell you how they got to Springfield. They were already here. And my wife was like, we moved around a lot in Arkansas at the time for my jobs and my family, but I think it's time to get back to your family.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
out of all the places in the country, she got it from Louisiana, Florida, all over. And then there's good old Springfield, Missouri.
You know what it is.
And I was like, so we moved here,
Yeah.
in 2020, I believe, yeah. 2020,
think so.
and then we all got together. So that's how
so
I
cool.
landed in Springfield.
No, that's awesome.
So with me, I think it was kind of staying together with family, and I think that happened with Nelson. We were far away, but we were still pretty close. We call each other every day, text each other every day. So
Yeah.
Brenda was the first one here. I think she was studying in school here. Then I left. I think I was in Central Arkansas when I left, and I came here to Southwest Missouri to try to attend school here as well, and then just kind of be closer to my sister. And then I wasn't too far from my parents. My parents only were from a 3 to 4 hour drive. And my parents always said, you can go with your sister, you'll be there. If you ever need something, you can always text each other and be there.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what happened with us. And then I met my wife here. We decided to stay, not move. And the rest is history.
Yeah.
So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Weird twin question.
Yeah.
But
I already know.
you already know what it's going. Yeah. But the majority of my friends that are twins, they hate being apart from each other. So is that something that you guys ever felt growing up, or you were like, no, honestly, get me like as far away as I can? Like, what was that like for you guys?
I feel like we always had a great relationship. I mean, we have disagreements like any other,
Yeah.
And Edson is always super hard-headed and stubborn. So, we just have disagreements, But other than that, we have a great relationship, like with Brenda as well. Like,
Yeah.
we can have disagreement and still like the next day, hey, you want something to eat or something like
Yeah.
that, that really doesn't, we grew up with, even if you have disagreement or whatever, you still family, you still together, and we're there for
Right.
each other. So we were away far from each other, really like about 15 years after we
Wow.
graduated from high school. We all went separate ways, and we still call each other and text each other and see each other the most we could. And now we're here
Yeah.
forever.
It's like actually the whole cul-de-sac, we just all live there. No.
Yeah. We're stuck now.
Yeah,
No,
so
that's awesome.
I don't think, like I said, I can't speak for all twins, but for us, it's always been like my best friend. It's always
Yeah.
somebody to call, somebody who shares almost the same exact DNA.
Yeah.
I'm
you
still better
kinda-
looking.
And do you have that relationship? That
Finger
relationship
slip.
where like, hey, you want to do this, you want to do that. Do you think it's a good idea? So, good intuition, and thank our family and God that we're always being great
Yeah.
with each other. And I never feel like I really don't want to be around you.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
Yeah.
Never.
I feel weird if I haven't texted him or called him today. Like, what are you up to? Something's weird. I want to
Yeah.
make sure he's okay. So.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So did a lot of the extended family move to the States as well? Because that's what I've seen a lot of times, like with my church and things like that, with different people, and or because I don't know. I mean, especially obviously my listeners know I just went to Mexico and it's so beautiful there and stuff like that. And I feel like for me, not a lot of my family lives here, so I'm like, I hate to leave this culture and just the vibes and everything. And so, do you have a lot of family here, or it's just kind of like you guys and your immediate family?
Actually, it's just us. That's what.
Familiar.
Yeah. That's why we're so close,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
because we don't
that's
have
awesome.
anybody else. Like we just grew up kind of like relying on each other because
Yeah.
there's no auntie, there's no uncle, there's grandpa, like
Wow.
just nobody.
Yeah.
Our support system was always our family, like my brothers, mom and dad. That was it, you know, and
Wow.
a few family friends, but you know, you can't really depend on friends like that. Like,
Yeah.
if you're really in a bind. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's what made us such a strong family. I think the fact that we didn't have anybody else, so we kind of had to work with what we had. But
Yeah.
grandpa and grandma, they're all in Mexico.
Yeah.
All of our cousins are in Mexico. We do have an aunt. She's my mom's sister.
One thing about me is that I don't play games unless it's ping pong at Classics Yard. Classics Yard is Springfield's #1 social sport and game center. It is located in the back of Classic Rock Coffee Company headquarters and next door to the Riff. Coffee, sports, music, what more could you want? Located at 1900 West Sunset Street in Springfield, Missouri. Be sure to check them out, play some games, and reserve your event today. Visit www.classicsyard.com.
She lives in Houston, Texas. And then another one, my dad's sister, she was living in Columbus, Ohio for like the longest time. So we never got to see her, you know, because she was really far away. But she now moved closer. Now she's in Kennett, where my mom and dad used to live. And now they moved to Springfield.
Oh, you guys are like not insane.
Yeah.
Except for right now you are. That's awesome.
Yeah, so, but other than that, it's just us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful to see, you know, because now he's got twins.
Yeah.
And
Wow,
and
that's
Edson,
awesome.
Edson has a baby that is a month. Emiliano, he's like a couple of months old now.
Yeah.
So it's like seeing the family grow.
Like you're building that, yeah,
it's so
family.
beautiful because you're like, okay, they're my family now.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
I have a niece and a nephew. To where like before it was like, well, we don't have any cousins or anybody to hang out with.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it was just like the couple of friends that we had and that was it.
Yeah.
But it's different, you know, when you have a big family. Well, we come from a big family, but they're
Yeah.
not here, so
Yeah.
it's kind of difficult, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was gonna ask like how that adjustment was when you guys got to Missouri and because I mean, even from Wisconsin to Missouri, I'm like, oh my god. But
yeah, it was really hard, honestly. Like
Yeah.
when we got to the States, I was 12, and my mom.
which is hard too. That's like a puberty age, you know. Like, you're
Yes.
already self-conscious about like everything.
Yeah. And then I had, you know, my life in Mexico. I had my friends and everything figured out. And then one summer, mom was like, "Okay, we're going on vacation," you know. Yeah. And then we ended up staying here, and I'm like, "What?"
I was like me in Mexico. I'm like, wait, I don't want to leave. Like, just stay. Reverse staying. That's tough.
So then she tells me, "Oh, you're gonna go to school here," and I'm like, "What?"
So you weren't like mentally prepared at all.
No, I wasn't. No, and I
Thrown to
didn't
the
even
wolves.
I didn't even know the language, so they just threw me in there. There was like no like ESL program
Yeah.
or anything, so I had to figure it out. I was walking around with like my little Spanish English dictionary, trying to communicate with everybody. But yeah, it was difficult.
Because how do you even try to get good grades when you're
I did,
so
though.
She was like,
Not me.
I still graduated with like a 3.8, not knowing any English.
Me knowing don't ask my GPA. That's tough.
I figured it out,
Yeah.
but it was difficult. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's just one of the many hurdles, you know.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
It's sink or swim, and that's
Yeah.
how you.
That's right.
That's how you know what you're built of
Yeah.
and what you can actually accomplish, and yeah.
Write that down and put that on pictures. That was good. That's good. Okay, so we're gonna talk more business stuff, but I want to break it up a little bit and kind of have some fun with a few like rapid fire questions.
Sure.
Yeah.
So these are like straight off the dome. Don't think about it. Like just first thing that comes to mind. So first and foremost, like favorite food that isn't Mexican.
For me,
Yeah.
it would be Chinese.
Okay.
Asian. Yeah.
Asian. Okay.
Yeah, Vietnamese.
Period.
Yeah, for
Period.
sure.
Is there like a favorite place in town that you like to go?
I like Corner 21 a lot.
Oh,
so
the new
That's
location.
pretty good.
Yeah. okay.
I like Tongs.
Okay.
Shout out to Tong.
Okay.
Chef
shout
Tong.
out.
Yeah.
I like this little place on South Campbell. It's called Hong Yang.
Okay.
I love their food. It's really good.
Pretty good,
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, favorite kind of music.
Mexican and country.
Yeah. He's like, when they're together.
Yeah.
Because
If Bad Bunny drops that country album, we're gonna lose our mind. Okay.
technically we're
Like
Northeast
Beyonce?
Mexico,
Yeah.
and we're very like country Mexico,
Like
Yeah.
Tex-Mex.
Tex-Mex,
Yeah,
accordion, and everything.
Yeah.
And country goes
They're gonna
very
start.
well.
You guys gonna also start playing
You never know,
music
maybe.
here? Maybe a band too. That's the next endeavor. Okay.
Yeah, I would say about the same, but I would probably do more like Mexican, country Mexican, like Northeast or North Mexico, and I will definitely do the good old 2000s hip hop.
Oh,
so-
Nelly. Yeah, we love Nelly right here.
Nelly and all that. So.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Mine is R&B at the
Okay,
moment, R&B, but I also love like salsa, merengue,
Yeah.
Marc
Yeah.
Anthony, Oro Solido, all those,
Yeah.
like fast moving, like
Yeah.
Latin music.
Mexican rock is actually pretty good too.
Ooh.
Like Maná, you ever heard of them? Maná?
No, but when I went to Cancun, they had a rock show,
Yeah.
and I was like, "This is awesome!"
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
I really like it.
I was like, "This is great." You want Spotify? No, awesome. Okay. Favorite thing to do in Springfield?
I would like to go shooting ranges.
Ooh, yeah.
Bass Pro or Cherokee Firearms, Sons of Freedom. Shout out to both those
Ooh,
locations.
yeah. Okay.
We probably favorite thing to do is probably walk, do like evening walks with my family.
Aw, that's
Nathaniel
cool.
Greens for right now,
Oh, yeah,
we go to
that's
that park,
great.
or what's the other one right here close to Sequoyota?
Sequoyota.
Yeah,
Yep.
right there.
Those
So
are good parks.
That's what I like to do.
Yeah. Nature.
Connect to my inner.
For me, it's trying new restaurants.
Yeah.
I
That's all,
love, we have so many restaurants and, different cultures, so I like to try different restaurants when I can.
Fun
Yeah.
fact.
Tell us.
Our family, every Tuesday, we go to eat to a different restaurant,
Yeah.
local restaurant,
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's,
Yeah.
and when I mean family, like my kiddos, his wife,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah,
It's like,
everybody.
It's like a party of like 12.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
He's like, we have to reserve 3 hours ahead.
Yeah.
The bus pulled up.
yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
We might do it like in the morning or the afternoon, but we do something for sure. Yeah, we try to support as well local businesses, So
Yeah. What about where do you guys get your inspo? Whether it's maybe someone you follow. Like I know me and my friends will listen to a lot of different podcasts, that kind of thing. Whether it's a favorite podcast to listen to or YouTube channel. Maybe like someone you follow, influencer. I don't know. What's something that's interesting to you? You kind of keep up with.
I keep up a lot with the 417 Foodist. Shout out to Billy.
Yeah. Shouts.
Because sometimes you're tired and you want a cool place to eat.
Yeah.
That's my first go-to. And then Jeff Bates from
Yeah.
417 Good Eating. And then overall, our culture, Mexican culture, it's very rich. Central Mexico, you have mariachi, you have Juan Gabriel, colorful. And in Northeast Mexico, you have a lot of our culture hats, cowboy, vibes. So, I guess, like Brenda said, all types of music or art, and just having a happy vibe that everybody enjoys.
Yeah.
That's where I try to be get inspired from.
Yeah. No, I love that.
that too, and this is, I don't want to just say something easy, but I look up to my dad.
Yeah.
That's something I follow for, or I look up for inspiration to, we try to get here on time and stuff. He's always the first one, and he always want to be the last one to leave. And
You've been clocking in hours.
Yeah.
He's like, that's his boo.
So he's out of the country right now, and he told me, I was like, hey, make sure if So comes in, give this them for me. He's still, he's passionate about this.
Yeah.
That he's still, even thousands of miles away, he's still trying to take care of the people and make sure the business is running like it's supposed to. So just that work ethic, I think that's what it made all of us.
Yeah.
And my mom as well. My mom has been a big part of this too. She, every time she said, even if you're 30 years old, I'm still gonna tell you what you're doing wrong. So,
Brenda's like,
She is.
we try to follow and look up to them just because they came to this country many years ago, not speaking the language, and everything they have built and the family they have built, that's not easy to do.
Yeah.
So that's what I look up to.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, he's right.
Just like copy and paste.
I don't know what else to add. I mean,
Yeah.
plus the internet. I feel like the internet is just full of different ideas and different things that you can grab from your culture that maybe you're not aware of that's going on, and that you're like, okay, this might work for the restaurant, you know. But we try to always be different.
Yeah.
We don't like copying local businesses because if you done it first, everybody knows who did it first.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, 100%.
So it just looks bad if you're just trying to go off of like your competitor and trying to build on top of them. It's just weird. So we always try to be different, have like our own ideas. We sit down as a family and be like, okay, you guys, I'm thinking about doing this, what do you think about it? And we just start like brainstorming and we come up with ideas. That's how we did the alebrijes and the paintings and everything, because we realized that none of the restaurants in town at the time had alebrijes. So we were like, that's something different,
Yeah.
So
No, that's great, because I was about to ask you, like, what makes you guys different, or like, what are the few elements that? Because I know when I came here, just the vibe itself, I was like, wow, this is different. Like, it's almost like urban, and you can tell with the social media, it's funny, it's fresh. I was like, man, this place is a vibe. Like, I'm trying to do a podcast in here.
Yeah, one of the biggest thing I think that it stands out for us in the 417 is our customer service.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that you leave and you're treated like you're one of our family members, and we tell that from from the bussers to the servers to even management. Like when they leave, they want to make sure they come here to enjoy their food and maybe don't think about their problems. So you're going somewhere and relax. So that's kind of like our goal, as a family.
Yeah. There's three things you guys have mentioned that I feel like really sticks out to me, and especially living far from my family and also being in the grind, just like having a business, the podcast. It's one, like really sacrificing. Like you guys all sacrifice so much because of how much you love your family and the passion behind it, whether it's like the work ethic, the people, creating something beautiful. And then two, whether you're working hard, whatever it is, I know for me it's a grind season where sometimes I do things just because of the passion. Like the end goal, you want to make a lot of money, you want to be successful, but that's not the passion, because if that is, I feel like it doesn't stick. You lose that love.
And that's huge, because you can tell that people just do it for the money. One, the food's not good, or the customer service. It's almost like a bother. You're in their place to eat. They're like, you have the bad vibe. And something you mentioned, the energy of the place. I think something that has make us different than anybody else in town is that it's us. We're the trilogy running the place. The backbone and the base is my mom and my dad, the roots there, but the ideas, hey, this is gonna work, this is not gonna work, we should do this. It's a new generation taking over, and that's the biggest main difference that what's existing now. A lot of it's old school, too early 2000, 1990. Now we have the social media going on. We have the selfie wall. The great customer service, and like my brother said, our world-class service was meant to be for, I had a rough day at work. I come to Señor Julian, have my tortillas, good margarita, good service. Man, that place really made me forget about the rough day I had at work today. And it really made an impact, and they treated me like family. They know my name, et cetera, et cetera. So that's one of the other things that we have. And not to mention, we make our flour tortillas fresh in-house. That's been a huge deal to the people, because you can't have a fajita, you can't beat it with fresh tortillas or asado puerco or chile verde, chile colorado with fresh made tortillas. They're fluffy, they're buttery, and it's something that we're very, very proud of. We work very hard. So.
Absolutely. And I know, obviously you guys said you don't have the extended family here. Same with me, with being in Wisconsin. So if I come here, whether it's like I'm going to work on my computer, sitting in a booth by myself or whatever, and I come here and I'm like, wow, I'm treated like family. Like, for some people, they might not care about that, but I'm like, that means a lot to me, because, just doing this, I'm like, we're friends now, hopefully, But that's kind of the thing, is like some people are looking for that because they don't have that community, or they don't have like quality great friends, and so you just never know the kind of impact you can make in someone's life. Like you said, that bad night, something bad could happen, they're like, this is all I can afford right now, whatever it is. It's cool that you're able to really impact someone's life in a positive way.
And just to close that from my end, we really do care, and I want to tell that to our customers. We really do care. You're not just a customer, or I don't want to tell them, man, I'm just gonna post a bad review or whatever. No, like if you tell us on the moment, we will honestly care.
Yeah.
I want you to enjoy my dad's food. I want you to have a good experience. I don't just want you to get in here at the door. Like we want you to have a positive, caring attitude, and this has come from all three of us. I can speak from all three, and my dad mainly, that we do care as a family, and we didn't open just for the money and be successful, but because we really love what we do.
Yeah, and I feel like God really blesses that, because even in the marketing world, so many different agencies and things like that, it's just so transactional and this and this and this. And I'm like, maybe, it's a waste of my time that I go and do something 2 hours for free. I'm like, but if I'm actually helping someone that down the line it could help me or just helps boost them, I'm going to do that, because love God, love others. Like I want to be a help and a light in someone's life. And so obviously you remember those moments in the grind when you're growing and that kind of thing.
For sure.
Yeah. And so going to just a few business questions.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I feel like this has been, well, not at you guys, but like in the restaurant world. I live downtown, and I feel like with just the economy and prices, it's been a tough year. Like I've seen a lot of layoffs just in the corporate scene. The price of ingredients. So how has that been for you guys to really like lock in and still perform well and be successful in a season where I feel like it's hard for all restaurants, whether it's like staff or just prices on things?
I think since we opened back up, since the expansion, it's not remodeling, but expansion, we are blessed with the best team probably in the 417, all the way from staff from the kitchen to the front end to, bussers, and I mean everybody, they work hard. We work as a team. The system we have developed throughout the years kind of helps with that as well, So to answer your question on the business part regarding the numbers, we do feel, like we can't change the prices every time, you know what I mean? But we do what we think is right for the business and the customer. We want to make sure that you feel like we're putting a price to what we think it's fair for you and for us, And, thank God we really stay busy the majority of the time, So
it's awesome.
I cannot tell you exactly like, and I'm being humble about it, telling you like we don't have a exact answer for that, just because we stay busy often, and we just keep trying to do the best we can.
Yeah. And for the restaurants that might be like struggling right now, whether it's to find quality staff or just their own business model, like what's the advice you would give to try to help them turn things around or rebrand, whatever that may look like?
I feel like it all starts with management and ownership. If the way that you treat your employees matters a lot.
Yeah.
So if your employees are not happy at the workplace, they're not going to perform the way that you want them to perform. I mean, there's always going to be exceptions to that rule, obviously.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes you give them all the tools and they just don't want to do it.
Right.
So that's whenever you're like, okay, this is not going to work out. But thankfully, like Nelson was saying, we have great staff. They're really hard workers. We have nothing but good things to say about them. And all our customers love them. They're funny. They're
It's like we only hire funny.
No, they're young. They're funny. They love what they do. They make good money, so that's like a good incentive for them to keep working hard. A couple of them, we have one employee that he's not even 20 years old.
Wow.
And he bought his house like recently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then another one that just
Don't hire me. Y'all didn't say that.
And then another one that just bought like a brand new truck.
Wow.
And it's just like, you guys are like in your early 20s and you're like succeeding, because they're good people, they work hard, which that's a big element, because unfortunately nowadays people just want everything to fall from the sky.
Right.
And it's like, no, you got to put in the work to get your reward.
Right.
So, you got to be patient, but it's coming, it's going to get to you.
Yeah.
So as long as you keep working hard and grinding, you're going to see a result. So So yeah, it starts with that. It starts with like management and
The
ownership.
foundation.
Yes,
Yeah.
the foundation and the way you treat your employees and giving them all the tools that they need to succeed in the workplace.
Yeah.
For to meet your expectations, because we have really high expectations here. And if you talk to their employees, they will tell you like,
Yeah, being
They're
up
like-
front.
they're like, it's stressful.
It's like 10 push-ups every time you go up the table and pick it up. Sounds crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, they know that we're there to back them up.
Yeah.
Like if we are short staffed, we clean tables. We serve tables, we bartend, we host, we do it all. It's not like, oh, guys, I'm the owner, I'm not gonna. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
It's just we're very humble, and if something needs to be done, we do it,
Yeah.
and they see that, so they get inspired by that, and like, oh,
Yeah.
if he's doing it, I can do it too. So
Yeah.
I feel like it all starts at the head of the house.
No, that's so good because I feel like even different roles I've had, like when I see the leadership serving,
Yes.
I'm like, I respect you. I want to learn from you. When I see people that they keep telling you all the things to do, but they never do it, or when they do it, it's just, I'm like, I have a hard time, like everything you said, performing the best, or
Yeah.
I don't like looking up to you. Like I can, obey you, but not necessarily respect you, and that's a hard situation. But
I think from my end, for the people struggling, just don't lose your passion. I think
Yeah.
we all started, and it's sad to see, a while back, 2 or 3 months, we saw a lot of restaurants go.
Yeah.
They've been there, and we were like, man, it was somebody's dream at one point.
Yeah.
It was somebody's idea, and something happened to where either they lost a passion, or, help crew wasn't found, or whatever. But whatever the cause was, just don't lose your passion. Remember why you open.
Yeah.
And just as a sign up for who somebody's thinking about the restaurant business, don't do it for the money.
yeah.
Don't do it for the money.
She said, no.
They always think like I had.
Same with podcasting. Don't do it for the money.
So I had a customer the other day tell me, "Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna open a restaurant. It's pretty easy." And I just kind of looked at him like, "Okay, if you want, it's not easy. It's
Yeah.
a lot of hard work. People who own, and even it's not even." If they're not even restaurant owners,
Yeah.
they have like a small.
Shout out to Rakish Vintage Clothes. My girl Whitley is the best. I truly get all of my clothes now from these vintage markets that happen once a month. They're the best. I love the prices. I love the people. I love the creativity. I love the art. So if you use the code CASH20, all caps KASH20, you're able to get 20% off from Rakish, whether it's online or at the markets. You guys, I'm always there. I'm having a blast. Check it out. Use the little code. Get yourself a fit and listen to the podcast.
Boutique or something, they will know how many owning a business.
Yeah.
It's extremely hard, and owning a successful business is even harder.
Yeah.
Because you have to work twice as hard, and you just gotta be original. That's the biggest thing with me and our family. I think we just want to be original and we want to do our own style. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. How do you guys unwind, relax? So especially in the marketing podcasting world, it's like when your work is content and research ideas, and then when I'm finally chill, I'm like, wait, I have to post all this for myself too, And
Yeah.
so for me, it's my weekends, I'm in the sun, I'm trying to unplug and, just have, I'm alone or doing things in nature. So how does that look for you guys?
I drink Red Bull.
I've actually never relaxed ever. Are you okay?
No, but
Slay
seriously.
queen.
Seriously though, I love nature.
Yeah.
Going to the park, just setting up a blanket, taking my coffee,
Yeah.
just kind of turning off my phone, because
Yeah.
that's a big thing. You're always getting text messages
Yeah.
from management, from mom, dad, companies, vendors. I mean,
Yeah.
even on our day off, sometimes I have the truck delivery guys call me, "Hey, we're here, no one's here, somebody needs to be at the restaurant," and I'm like, seriously,
Yeah.
this is my day off.
Yeah, she's like, I'm 3 Red Bulls deep, girl.
So it's just you just gotta learn what works for you. It's
Yeah.
not the same for everybody.
You're
You gotta
absolutely
you gotta know yourself, and
That's good.
sometimes I'm a couch potato.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
put something on
Unwinding.
Netflix. Yeah,
that was me today, by the way.
Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
Yeah.
I guess for me would be, and Nelson will understand this now that he has a kid, coming home, leaving all the problems at the door, and try to be the best husband you can for your wife and be the best father for your kid. We're not perfect. We may be tired, exhausted, because this is very demanding.
Yeah.
But just looking in my kid's eyes and face and hold him, go for a walk or take my wife out to do some little shopping or a coffee or going out to eat, you know.
Yeah.
And new dads and new parents out there will understand, you know, that. And like I said, just try to stay away as much as we can from our phone, even though
it's hard.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
You know, hey, do you guys remember we have to do this, we have to do that, et cetera, et cetera. But
we have a podcast.
That took like half their day off because of me.
But
hopefully you guys get new customers though. So yeah, use my code for a free drink.
She's lying, you guys.
hey, what are you drinking there?
Yeah. Actually, this is water. Super cute cup.
Water.
Okay. No, I was wondering though, like if someone came here, say they're out of state or whatever, can they buy one of these?
For
Yeah.
sure.
Oh
Absolutely.
my gosh, you guys, you
Yeah.
have to do this.
Yeah. But yeah, that's
Oh my gosh,
that's
this
how
water just cleaned my soul.
that's how I unwind.
Yeah, same thing with me, you know, going on walks, you know, shout out to our wives, you know, they're warriors too, you know, they're with their kiddos while we're running the business, and they're also a big part of success as well, you know what I mean, because excuse me, they're at home, you know, taking care of the family while we're here.
Yeah.
So yeah, just hugging them, playing with them. My kiddos are to where they're running around and jumping and stuff. You know, we got no
skipping.
trampoline today. So. All that stuff.
Nelson's like, you're done.
That's how we do it. You know? And also, I think going out to it every Tuesday. I'm not gonna lie. I look forward to it every Tuesday. Be like, hey, where are we gonna go eat? If someone haven't said it, I'm gonna say, hey, where are we gonna go today? You know, just because it's part of it.
And then we have to ask too. I mean, you guys are the only ones I know that are not open on Taco Tuesday, which is I was like, that is so wild.
Yeah.
So how did you guys decide to do that?
I always three factors. I think it come down to numbers. It come down to time off. You know, family.
Yeah.
And number three, our customer base. That's why we're doing it. You know, because if we have built a solid customer base, so where we want to get to know everybody, you know, and we want everybody to feel welcome and be here for our food and who we are, and they want to be here not because they just want the free, the cheap tacos and the water, you know, and that's part of it. And the numbers, we really just sat down one day and like we're looking at numbers, you know, we're like, I think Tuesday would be good, you know, so.
Yeah, I think it's cool because a lot of places that, you know, I feel like they're closed on Mondays, so you guys are one of the only places that are probably open on Mondays. And I'm like,
I would say like it's good for business because a lot of restaurants close Sundays and Mondays.
Yeah.
So we're open those days, and then when everybody's doing the Taco Tuesday competition, like, you know, who gets like the best tacos or whatever in town, we're like closing and we let everybody, you know, do their thing on Tuesday.
I think it's a great strategy.
Yeah.
So I thought it was cool.
Yeah. And fun fact, we started opening 7 days a week when we first started. Until like 2 months in, we were like, this is not this is not survivable.
The mental health.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And not just for us, but for our staff too.
Yeah.
You know, like we also have to think about them too, you know. So an extra day off, it's always going to, you know, be good for everybody.
Yeah.
So.
And also, it's a business day, so if they got to take care of things while everything's open, appointments, everything.
That's
they
super
have
nice.
That. So, you know, a lot of places close on, Sunday, so they're like, well, what's open? Doctor's not open, or this and this and that, or nobody can answer my email this day, or the phone bill, etc. So that was another factor, and we just believe our product. We're proud of our products. We want to make sure people knew that that's what we had to offer. You know, like the homemade tortillas. We want to be known for that, for the great service, for the friendly customer service as well.
So. Can't wait to come back tomorrow. I'm so excited. So talk about these little hats in front of me. Yeah, the super cute merchant cups.
So we have our custom made. They're all three made by local stores. Like Brenda said, we could order them from a big company online and etc. So the ones with leather are made from the Springfield Leather Company. Shout out to Springfield Leather Company.
Shout out.
And
Rusty.
This one, Rusty now, and then this one is made from Creator Designs, our neighbors.
Next
They
door.
do, they do
so
our
cool.
they do uniforms and a lot of other things.
Aprons.
And then aprons and pants and all that. And then these ones are made from in Mexico. So these are.
I was gonna say, I feel like nowhere local has those. Those are so cool, though.
Those are super special. They're handmade, hand painted, all the way imported from Mexico. So those are also for sale if people wanna buy those, take them home with you to the lake or whatever.
Yeah.
They work great on keeping your drink cold, but we're very proud of them. It's something that we're helping people in Mexico as well too.
Yeah, amazing. So before we get into like my wrap up questions that I always ask, I do want to say like just advice wise for the listeners, I feel like a lot of that has been rooted from sacrificing, and obviously that's not an easy thing to do at 25 or any other age, whether it's single or having kids. And so what is your advice to someone that's in that position where maybe they want to do that for their family too, or God calls them somewhere else and it's not what they think is their dream, like whatever it is, what's your advice to someone who's in a position where they need to sacrifice for their family or whatever else it may be?
I'll say, think about it, analyze, make sure that's, it's going to take a lot of time, a lot of hard work, a lot of money probably. So make sure that's what you want to do 110%. Every decision we make business-wise, we make it the five of us, and we analyze it from all different angles. I'm sorry, like she might have a different way of thinking. He does too, and he's like, well, think about this, well, think about that, so think about it a lot. I feel sorry, like our culture, American culture is like live your dream and do this, but they don't tell you exactly what's gonna take you to do that stuff, or like the behind the scenes to do that, so just make sure that number one, that's what you want and that's what you're passionate about, number two, to be ready to work, like you gotta, and being a business owner, again, I'm gonna say it again, it's hard. Being a successful business owner is even harder, so that's what I would advise, or recommend.
The question was, what would we tell somebody who wants to do the sacrifice for their family? Make sure that you feel like your sacrifice is going to mean something to you, because you are putting your time and your effort. To us, we don't have a single doubt that we're taking care of the people who brought us to the world, that give everything. We seen it. No matter if my dad had $1 and I was hungry, he'll give me the dollars to buy food. Like we know that's the least we can do. I don't want to tell people, oh yeah, go out and do it for your family if they feel like it's not going to be appreciated.
For sure.
But like my brother said, think very clearly what you want, where are you heading. And if you plan on being successful and take care of somebody, sacrifice something, do something that you love. Maybe you're not maybe good at it. Like say, I'm not the best painter, but I love the instruments of music. Maybe choose something that route. Whatever it is, just give it your 110%. I always was told that hard work beats talent in any day.
That's good.
And to us, don't be afraid of going to the sacrifice, but just take your time, analyze everything. So
that's good.
Just to add to that, I think people get impatient when they're, going after the goals or dreams they want. We live in a generation that is like instant gratification, like your phone, your text message right away, everything happens, like in a click of a button. But you have to be patient. You have to be really patient. It might not be 1 year, it might be 5. And are you willing, and are you ready financially and in every way, like mentally ready to be waiting until you're successful?
That's good.
Because it doesn't happen.
I'm not sure. I thought she was talking to me right now. But that was so good though. Keep it going. Keep it going. No, I'm locked in. Yeah. Sorry.
No,
you're so good. Brenda. Keep going.
But yeah, you know, people think that it's just gonna happen overnight, and it doesn't. It doesn't happen overnight. Thankfully, like for us, it did happen overnight.
yeah.
You know, it was so fast, and that's why we started so small. You know, with just that side and the.
But still being smart about it, you know, like still like being smart about the journey.
We wanted a smaller space because we were like, you know, we got to be realistic. Like the Mexican restaurant market in Springfield is really competitive, and there's like I don't even know like over 30 Mexican restaurants already, and we're going into a saturated market, and we don't know how it's gonna be. You know, so we were like, okay, let's start small. Let's see how it goes, and then we'll go from there. Like my dad always says, the business is gonna tell you what it needs.
Exactly.
You know,
That's
and you're
good.
just gonna continue adding to it. So that's what we did. You know, at first it was like really small, like
Tight.
tables on top of each other. You know, people felt really uncomfortable, but they still kept coming.
Yeah.
You know, they never stopped supporting us.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, we appreciated that a lot. But you know, like subtly, they were always like, "When are you guys expanding?" Like we need more space. Yeah, we need more space. And that was a question that was literally asked every single day.
Wow.
Until we were like, okay, we really need to do this because you know people are asking for it. And we sit down and you know we got bids from the construction companies, and then we picked one, and it was just like once we got the ball rolling, it just happened really quickly.
But before that, I mean, you guys won't let me lie. Before that, it took a year before to where we can get it done. You know what I'm saying? Like the planning,
Right.
who we're gonna pick and stuff like that, working everything behind the scenes. It took us a year, and 3 months in opening, we knew we had to expand. You know, doing this so long.
3 months in is crazy
Yes.
too.
Yeah, like you know, doing this for so long, keeping up with numbers, and you know, numbers keep going good. And Dad, it was like, you know, what's the chance of you know expanding? And like I always tell people, you know, just because we can doesn't mean we should.
Yeah.
You know, and that's another thing. And I think you know, another major factor, Brenda, is always being kind of like, well, let's wait a little bit, let's wait, you know. So that helped us also too, because she keep us control every once in a while. When me and
I keep us grounded. Grounded.
That's queen.
Yeah.
That's queen.
My dad was like, what do you think about this at the end? Me and Edson jumped to the gun right away. Let's do it, you know? And she's like, hey, easy now, you know? And we talk about it, and, you know, I think we did it at the right time, at the right, you know, everything from the furniture to the floor to the layout, we thought about it for weeks, you know? Like,
And I love the colors.
Yeah.
It's so bright, but I don't know. It's everything. It feels so intentional. And I love that. So.
Yep. I think, and without sound too cheesy or whatever, I think the hand of God was very present to us. Because a lot of things were, you know, placed at the correct time, like you said, from the furniture to expanding to the right correct construction company to
Grindstone, shout out to you.
We're typing all the comments.
we were able to make something work. Whenever we make the windows and knock the wall down, like everybody wanted to say, you know, when are you gonna knock the wall down? Give us a sledgehammer. It worked to perfect. Everybody was like, man, when did you guys do this? Like, it seems so natural, you know. So we want to say thank you to all the people who support us. And me and Nelson always tell people, they was like, when are you going to expand? And we told them one taco at a time.
Oh, that's so cute. Oh my gosh. No, that's awesome. And I mean, like exactly what you said. God's timing, and if it's in His plan, there's like nothing that can stop that, right? It moves fast, and if it's not, it'll be slow.
Know when to make the moves.
No, that's right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on the pod. Closing questions as I end every single show. Favorite quote, favorite song, and what do you want your legacy to be? And I already told you guys, like, it can be deep, it can be not deep. The song could be like literally just what you're listening to today. Like it doesn't, you know, it's whatever your journey is. So I don't know. Like, oh shoot, we forgot about this part.
All right, I'm gonna start so you can have time to think about that.
Yes, I'll start if you want to.
So my first song is "Vivir la Vida" by Mark Anthony, just because it talks about like no matter, you know, if you're up and down in life, you should just be happy and kind of like dance in the rain. So when I'm down, I always play that song because it brings me, you know, it brings up my mood. So I like that. What was the other
favorite quote?
Work harder, nobody cares. I go by that.
Good.
So you just, if you're working hard, just keep working harder because nobody cares.
That's it.
Period.
So,
Period. And then what do you want your legacy to be?
Ooh.
I know. That's an easy one.
I haven't really thought about that, but I feel like just hard work, honesty, and transparency. I feel like that will be like 3 words that will define my legacy, because I want my family to continue, being successful and striving to be the best, but always working hard. Like nothing is gonna get handed to you.
Yeah.
Nothing is gonna get handed to you. So you gotta work hard. You gotta always be honest with yourself, and you gotta be honest with others around you.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason to deceive other people, or you know what I mean? Like
Right.
life is already hard. Why
Yeah.
make it even more difficult? So
That's good.
honesty, it's good, and transparency, because I feel like communicating with others and letting them know how you feel, it leads to great relationships.
That's good.
So
And
always-
transparency is such a strength, because
Yeah.
it's scary being vulnerable, but
Yeah.
you're right. Inviting
Yeah.
someone into that just makes you stronger.
And people that know me, they know that my circle is really small.
Yeah.
Super small. Smaller than a Cheerio. You know?
She's like, they're not in it. I'm no, I'm playing.
But yeah, it's because of that, because it's hard to find, honesty, transparency, people that just, because we're not worried about anybody else. As a family and as individuals, we always talk about this.
Yeah.
We're not worried about what the other Mexican restaurant is doing, or if another one is opening up, or, so-and-so bought a new truck, or so-and-so got whatever, this
Right.
type of bag. Like, that's just material stuff,
Yeah.
Money comes and goes, because we've been at the bottom, and we've been, good. We haven't been like up there yet. But
Getting there.
but yeah, just money comes and
Yeah.
goes. So just be yourself all the time. Just
That's
be
so good.
Yeah. So there's
that's-
no reason to
Comparison is like the thief of joy, right?
Yeah,
And
it
so
is.
whether it's the podcast, and don't focus on what everyone else. You're right.
Yeah,
Just like
yeah.
lock in on what you guys got,
Yeah.
because if you're rooted right, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
So.
for sure.
You know,
I thought you were ready.
I am. My song will be El Manicero, and that's the song that we launched to Springfield, to the 417. And every once in a while, it comes in our station, and every single time it reminds me when we all 5 were sitting on a table, nervous, like what's gonna happen, or
Yeah.
it brings me so much memory. So every time I hear it or listen to it, it reminds me of everything we have gone through, good or bad.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
that's good. Quote.
Quote: treat people like you want to be treated.
That's good.
So I always try to treat everybody with respect. Be nice to everybody. People who gets a chance to talk to me either outside the restaurant or inside the restaurant, I always try to feel them welcome, and with respect. Doesn't matter, if you're the richest or the poorest. It's always, to me, it's always trying to treat you with respect, and just be good,
Yeah. And then legacy.
Legacy. Oh man, I don't know. That's
I didn't see this coming.
Yeah. No, I think it's just I believe it. To me, it comes, business and stuff is great, but I think family, being a good son, being a good husband,
Yeah.
a good father, mainly, because we have the pleasure and the honor of having the parents that we have, everything they give us. And I was telling Edson the other day on the phone, I was like, man, like, just thinking about how they raised us in a new country, and our kids maybe not have some of the struggles we did, but I'm sure they're gonna have their own, but just be there and be the try to be like my mom and dad, to where they always supportive and help us out and stuff like that, and just make sure just be like, it's never the right parent, but just try to be like as good parents as they are,
Right. Right.
So that's probably what
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I think mine will be "Thank You for the Blood of God." My favorite song. It kind of helps me like unwind when I get home, and I'm just thinking. Because sometimes I feel like, oh man, all the hard work, everything, but we don't deserve all the love that we get from the 417. It's an honor, honestly, and I do want to say that public. It's an honor to have all the people love you and your food's the best, and because they have all these other places they can eat at, and they chose us, But what was the next question?
Quote.
I guess you can't take anything with you to the grave.
It's good.
So a lot of people are lost in all the material things and everything, but I think family, being, like Nelson said, a good son, a good father, like Brenda said, being there for your family, being the best person you can be, because at the end of the day, that's all you're going to take with you, you know.
Yeah.
So like she said, we're locked into only caring about what we gotta do. Our goals are different. It's not about I want to be super successful and flex on everybody. It's just I want to take care of my parents. I want to make sure they're taken care of. That's our goal. And I don't care what you do, what everybody else does. I'm gonna make sure the four walls are taken care of by all three of us, and going from there. And then what was the other one?
Legacy.
Legacy. It would be that I make my son proud, or my family if I have more kids. I make my dad and my mom proud as well, because the restaurant has his name, it has his seasoning, his food, and I want to make sure he feels proud and happy. To hopefully we're in business for a long time. That he's like, man, at one point, Señor Julian, you know, was very loved of the 417, or still is, or after X amount of time, we still are, you know, and overall, be a good human being to others, you know, so I can make them feel like. I tell the services all the time. They're like, man, I'm so stressed out, and you see them in their eyes and their face. I'm like, dude, it's tacos and margaritas, man. That's it. You know, you know, you walk through the doors and it's over with. The day is over with. So have fun. You know, enjoy what you do. Yeah, we have high expectations, but we're here to help. You know, and if you need a hand from us, we'll give it to you. Yeah. And they know that. So just be happy with everything.
Yeah, that's so good. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on the podcast. This has been so fun, obviously, but you guys just want to go ahead and plug the location of where people can come eat here, and also social media links, all that stuff.
Absolutely. We're located in 3405 East Battlefield Road, Suite 100 and Suite 104, which we're right now. If you're coming east heading west, we're on the exit of Battlefield in the shopping center. You'll see our sign. We'll be the first right to the right. If you're coming west, you take Battlefield. If you're heading east, you have to take a left on the first light over there by Jimmy X. And like if you were heading to PFI, come the back way and then come around through the front next to the hotel. So it's a bit of tricky coming from the west side of town. But yeah, we're here except on Tuesdays. We're closed on Tuesdays.
Yes.
There's no Taco Tuesday.
Yes.
In our social media, we're on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We are verified.
Period.
Period. Facebook, it should be a picture of all the family. Instagram is my mom and dad. And TikTok, I believe, is logo. Yeah, but just follow us, like, comment.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Well, we don't have a subscription.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. Thank you to my listeners. Be sure to go to the Rakish Market coming up. My favorite vintage clothes ever. If you want some pod merch, we have thrifted pieces. Also go to my website or just reach out to me. We love a good crew neck as fall. It's getting cooler. You need some tacos and you need some podcast merch. That's what what you need. But love you guys so much. Remember to always keep on keeping up with cash. Okay, bye.